connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Good Morning Idaho.
Hey everybody, it is 6 a.m. Tuesday, the 5th of August, and it's good to have you along, everybody. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris. Hope you're off to a good start. We've got a lot to get to from our large team of neighborhood reporters today. Coming up this half hour, we've got Sahana Patel highlighting the emergency alert system that can provide critical and timely information in the event of especially wildfires or also things like missing people. Plus, nationally, we're going to bring the latest to you on redistricting efforts by Texas as their governor is now calling for the arrest of Democratic lawmakers who are trying to block the process. More on all of that coming up. But first, let's get the latest on our weather as you get ready to head out the door this morning. It is another gorgeous day. We've been lucky not to have so many temperatures in the hundreds so far this summer. What's going on?
You know, honestly, Roland, I'm not going to question it. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
We're not going to even put that out in the air. We have seen, though, a couple triple digits, so it's not like it hasn't been overly hot at times, but this week especially you'll notice it a lot more because we're cooler. You've got 89 into today, and as far as averages go, well, we normally sit at about 94, so enjoy this nice relief from that real summertime heat that we normally see. Also lots of sunshine, not looking at very much rain today. And as you start to get ready for the day, you're probably thinking, well, is it one of those days where you maybe grab the light jacket to start? If you head out early, possibly, but it's also in those lower 60s, so if you're getting that exercise in, it'll really just feel good. By lunchtime, we'll be touching towards those upper 70s, and then by dinner time, mid to upper 80s area-wide. Plenty of sunshine on this map, and it's going to be a nice stretch of just clear skies as we head into the afternoon. Good thing is, Roland, that we are seeing a little bit of a warm up into tomorrow, but by really Friday, it'll be just like a temperature roller coaster again because we're cooling right back down.
Wow. Well, beautiful weather for today. Thanks, Sophie. Appreciate it. Turning now to the news and efforts by Boise School District to reestablish trust with parents after many were upset over the district's handling of multiple sexual abuse allegations. Our Riley Shoemaker has a story.
With just 1 week until Boise students head back to class, the school district is launching something new. A parent-led group aimed at rebuilding trust and giving families a real seat at the table. I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, and I asked the district if this could shift the way decisions are made, especially after recent staffing controversies left some families feeling unheard.
It's called the Parent Advocacy Group. 26 parents from every corner of the district now tap to meet directly with Boise School's top leaders.
This is a group that is going to help us make decisions going forward, allows us to have direct communication with parents at a district level.
It's more than just a listening session. District spokesperson Dan Holler tells me it's an intentional move. With backlash over how the district handled reports of sexual misconduct involving staff, parents have made it clear they want more transparency, accountability, and a voice in how schools respond.
This is an intentional effort to build trust through action, meaning ensuring families really have a clear and collaborative space to engage with us, to share ideas, raise concerns, and celebrate successes at the district level.
And people are showing up. Nearly 180 parents applied. The final group of 26 includes representatives from all 4 high school zones: Boise, Bora, Capitol, and Timberline, plus at-large members with students in elementary and junior high. The group kicks off next month with parents helping to set the agenda, and district officials say the conversations won't shy away from tough topics.
With everything our community has navigated in recent years, I think this is an important opportunity for us to be able to create spaces for open and honest and constructive dialogue with our parents.
The district says this is about more than meetings. It's about making sure families have real influence on the issues that affect their kids. Boise students will be back in class starting August 12th. I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, Idaho News 6.
In Boise, a new state law has led to the shutdown of the city's red light camera program. The legislation, effective immediately, prohibits cities across Idaho from using automated cameras to catch drivers running red lights. City officials pointed to aggressive driving, including red light running, as a leading cause of fatal crashes and designed the program to combat the issue. Boise's program would have been the first in Idaho to use plate readers for issuing red light citations. Cities like Nampa and Coeur d'Alene use the technology for crash response, but not enforcement. For more information on the program shutdown, visit idahonews6.com.
Greenbelt is seeing methods of transportation evolve as electric bikes and scooters become commonplace. I'm your neighborhood reporter Keith Burrell, and I sat down with a Meridian woman who's spreading the importance of wearing helmets after a scary crash knocked her out and put her in the hospital for over 10 hours.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember the wheel turning. I don't remember the face plant.
In an instant, Chelsea Oates' world changed when the electric scooter she was riding went out from under her.
According to my husband, I was bleeding out my mouth because I cut inside my cheek because I smacked the side of my cheek. So yeah, that's all I do remember. But I still to this day, I ask my husband, oh, where did our son go? Did you eat dinner that night?
Oates learned days later that paramedics arrived within 7 minutes.
I was very combative. I was very not talking to them. I wouldn't let them put needles in me. I wouldn't let them cut clothes off of me.
Idaho News 6 has previously reported on speed ordinance discussions and changes stating that Greenbelt users should travel at reasonable speeds. Chelsea tells me her scooter doesn't go over 15 miles an hour. The city even considered a speed limit of 10 miles an hour in stretches of the Greenbelt. In the couple months since her accident, Chelsea is spreading awareness after a last-minute outing to celebrate the last day of school nearly turned into tragedy.
I wear a helmet when I go dirt bike riding, but one time I never wear a helmet was on the scooter.
You can find a link to Chelsea's GoFundMe as her care and therapy continues in this story on our website, idahonews6.com. From the Idaho News 6 studio, I'm your neighborhood reporter Keith Burrell for Idaho News 6.
The Twin Falls Police Department has shared insights on crashes and traffic stops from the month of July. And the department says that last month alone, police conducted nearly 1,000 traffic stops, leading to 395 citations. That's compared to 480 traffic citations the month before, an 18% decrease.
Americans are feeling the strain of higher prices on everyday items.
The prices seems to go up every week, every month.
The price is killing me. Instead of saving money in my bank account, I'm using it in groceries.
A new poll finds 53% of Americans say the cost of groceries is a major source of stress for them right now.
One thing that really stands out in the data is that only 14% of Americans say the cost of groceries is not a source of stress for them right now.
And 4 in 10 people under age 45 say they're using buy now, pay later services to cover essentials like groceries and medical care. Many are looking for new ways to save. This mom connecting with the so-called crazy coupon lady, some of her tips: eliminate grocery delivery services, buy in bulk for staple items, and use your grocery store's app for added savings.
We actually think that you can lower your expense by $350 a month or $4,200 a year.
With President Trump's trade war ramping up, new tariffs are set to go into effect. Economists say prices will likely keep rising on everything from produce to electronics and cars. Despite Friday's jobs report showing a substantial slowdown in the labor market, stocks bounced back yesterday thanks to encouraging corporate earnings and investors anticipating an interest rate cut next month. President Trump has said the tariffs will boost U.S. manufacturing and add billions to the U.S. Treasury, but concerns about higher costs have some families racing to finish back-to-school shopping early. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Wildfires can change quickly, which is why Ada County officials are testing emergency alerts to keep people safe. I'm your Southeast Boise neighborhood reporter Sahana Patel, looking at how tools like the Code Red app could give you a critical head start in an emergency. With wildfire season heating up, Ada County's Emergency Communications Center is testing its alert system, including the Code Red app for neighbors in Barber Valley.
They can receive basically phone calls, emails, or text messages to alert them to things going on in their area if there's an emergency that we need to notify them about.
Code Red app users fill in their home address, which ensures their alerts are tied to their specific location. But the app also uses location tracking, so you'll get critical messages even when you're on the move. And it's not just for fires.
There may be a missing vulnerable adult in the area that we need help looking for. If there was an issue with immediate risk of maybe some flooding, the incident command at the scene will tell us within a certain area that they want that message to go, and then we can send out that message.
Barber Valley residents can also expect a wireless emergency alert notification, even for those who don't have the Code Red app. This helps officials reach a wider audience.
For instance, notify people who may not live in that specific area or people who may even be coming into that area for recreational purposes. We may use both methods so that we can reach as many people as possible.
While the app is specific to Ada County, officials stress the importance of understanding what alert systems are in place in your neighborhood.
If you live close to another county, I would recommend familiarizing yourself with what the neighboring jurisdictions are utilizing for mass public notification as well.
If you would like to request an emergency test alert for your neighborhood, click the link on this story on idahonews6.com. I'm your Southeast Boise neighborhood reporter, Sahana Patel, for Idaho News 6.
The Idaho Transportation Department is continuing with maintenance work on Valley County's Rainbow Bridge. Drivers will face lane restrictions Monday through Thursday until mid-September. ITD also warning that delays are expected. The future of this iconic bridge is still up in the air as ITD weighs whether to preserve or dismantle the structure. You can make your voice heard during an online meeting this Sunday. You can find that link on our website, idahonews6.com.
When we get back, the latest efforts by Texas to redraw the state's congressional map to get more Republican seats. The governor of Texas now threatening to arrest state lawmakers who stand in opposition. All right, it is 13 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday. Let's take a look at your national headlines today, everyone. A United Nations conference set to kick off in Geneva today, focusing on global plastic pollution. It's a huge problem. The UN's Environment Program warns that unless nations can sign a legally binding agreement to reduce their production, plastic waste is projected to triple by 2060. The UN says it wants international leaders to come up with a deal similar to the Paris Climate Accords in scale addressing plastic. It would promote a reduction in production, recycling programs, and efforts to prevent plastic from leaking into our environment. President Trump has fired the director of the Bureau of Labor Statistics following a disappointing jobs report. Trump claimed without any evidence that the June employment figures were rigged to make Republicans look bad. The latest report showed hiring nearly stalled in May and June, and economists and investors have long considered the monthly jobs data to be reliable despite recent challenges with survey response rates. And the State Department wants some foreign visitors to pay up to $15,000 just to apply for a U.S. visa. The proposed bonds would apply to business and tourist visa applicants from countries with high overstay rates. The 12-month pilot program could make U.S. travel unaffordable for many foreign visitors. The affected countries will be announced when the program begins. Turning now to redistricting efforts in the state of Texas. Republicans are trying to redraw the state's congressional map in an effort pushed by President Trump to give Republicans more seats in the House. The governor now threatening to arrest Democratic state lawmakers who left the state to delay the vote. Governors in other Democratic states, meanwhile, warning that they may do the same as Texas is doing. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the details.
A deepening standoff in Texas as Governor Greg Abbott threatens to arrest any Democratic lawmaker who left the state to block a vote on redrawing congressional maps that favor Republicans.
He has no legal mechanism. And if he did, subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York.
Critics argue redrawing the state's congressional map could give the GOP 5 new seats in next year's midterm elections, a move that's been pushed by President Trump.
Are you calling in for a complete redrawing of the congressional map?
No, it's just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
In total, more than 50 Democratic lawmakers have left the state. They argue this plan breaks tradition and targets minority communities, but the governor pushing back.
These districts are going to show that Hispanics and blacks, as well as others, are voting for Republican, and Republican is their candidate of choice, and we will ensure that will be achieved at the congressional level in the state of Texas.
Meanwhile, other states are now threatening to do the same. Democratic governors in California and New York are threatening to change their congressional districts to retaliate against Texas.
And I have news flash for Republicans in Texas. This is no longer the Wild West. We're not going to tolerate our democracy being stolen in a modern-day stagecoach hoist by a bunch of law-breaking cowboys.
As the politics plays out, one Texas state representative argues the focus should be on the victims of the deadly 4th of July floods.
We were supposed to talk about the flooding. Today is the 1-month anniversary of that catastrophic flood. And instead, what did House Republicans put on the debate for today? They put redistricting. They're putting power over people.
2 congressional Republicans from New York and California, both of whom would be impacted, are proposing separate bills that would place limits on redistricting. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump's big, beautiful bill would add more than $4 trillion to the federal debt over the next decade when interest costs are factored in. That's according to a Congressional Budget Office analysis released today. The legislation includes sweeping tax cuts, but according to the CBO, those savings are outweighed by the cost. The increased borrowing will add nearly $720 billion in interest, and although the bill slashes spending on programs like Medicaid and SNAP, it still balloons the deficit by $3.4 trillion by 2034. Democrats say the plan favors billionaires while adding long-term fiscal risk.
All right, well, 6:18 is your time. We've got lower 80s this afternoon in Ketchum. Plenty of sunshine. I'll be showing you the temperature roller coaster we're taking this week. Very cold at the moment, but by the afternoon, if you grab a light jacket, you won't need it. You've got lower 90s stretching into your valley floors, upper 80s between Caldwell and Boise. Nice, comfortable 80s and some upper 70s in our mountains. And by tomorrow, this will be the hottest day of the week. So we are approaching the middle of the week, and as we do so, that's when temperatures are expected to rise. You've got mid 90s falling into your valley floors, still pretty comfortable for our mountains. Got those nice mid 80s, so not too much change there. But let's talk about what's coming and what's going to happen as we move through the week. So again, we talked about that temperature roller coaster we're sitting on. This shows us Wednesday morning, now late into the morning. By Wednesday evening, we'll see this cold front slowly move through, and so we'll get that northwesterly flow. When we see anything come from the northwest, it's nice and cooler. So generally, as we get into our Thursday, you'll notice that kind of this trough just sit over us, and so that cool weather continues to pass over. That'll help cool our temperatures off into Friday, but the heat slowly rebuilds as we see this ridge move its way inland from the Pacific. It kind of almost looks like an upside down U, but what it does is it brings up our heights, and really that's going to increase our temperatures in turn. So do expect a hotter end to the weekend itself, but we still have some relief beforehand. So when you take a look at our high temperature trend, you'll notice we get those nice comfortable mid 80s coming back into us and by Thursday and even Friday. But again, Wednesday, that's when we see that peak heating through the middle of the week. Now through the weekend, we do see those lower 90s return. You'll notice Tuesday doesn't have a temperature. It's because models aren't necessarily in agreement with what we're going to see with triple digits, or if we're going to see those mid 90s. So just a heads up on that front. We could still possibly have a pretty hot day next week. But either way, this evening, if you have any late evening plans, it's going to be pretty nice. And notice that we stay relatively warm throughout the majority of your evening. You got upper 70s by 7 o'clock through 9 p.m. We'll be barely touching into those lower 80s, and while it'll be nice and clear, just again, it is still going to be warm. Now either way, as we take a look at our temperature outlook, August 11th through the 15th, it looks like we're still seeing some pretty good confidence at above average temperatures coming our way. Until then though, we've got those nice mid 80s to enjoy as we start to wrap up the work week, and then lower 90s following into next.
The Blaine County Fair celebrates local agriculture achievements while fostering community spirit and some good old-fashioned fun. I'm your neighborhood reporter Joey Martin in Cary, checking out the first day of the Blaine County Fair, where celebrating the future of ag is still the main focus of this week-long celebration.
They've worked all year on these projects, and it's their time to shine.
You won't find any carnival rides or big-name concerts at the Blaine County Fair.
But what you will see is the West's rich agriculture traditions being passed on to the next generation.
I love our small fair. It's, community. It's all about the 4-H kids. We're small. We don't have all the rides and the big carnival stuff. It's just a down-to-earth, small, fun fair.
While larger fairs feature all kinds of bells and whistles, the Blaine County Fair remains dedicated to the youth and the future of farming in the Wood River Valley.
I mean, these kids are up in the morning feeding their animals. They're going out in the evening feeding their animals. They're working with their animals, walking them, washing them. And I think it teaches these kids tons of life skills that a lot of people they don't know. They're not around it.
I caught the horse showmanship competition on Monday morning, where 14-year-old Haley resident Bella Price took grand champion.
Who you got here?
This is my horse, Goldie. She's about 17 years old.
Wow, she's older than you.
Yeah. It's really fun showing your horse. I've also showed a lamb, which is really fun. It's just fun to be out here and with your animal.
But not every family can afford or house a large animal, so the fair started introducing new categories.
So meat goats are new. This is only the second year we've done goats. Our market poultry project is new. This is our second year. So we're trying to get more projects and offer to those kids that can't necessarily raise a steer or a pig, but they can raise a chicken or a goat.
The Blaine County Fair will continue all week long right here in Cary. For more information, including more animal showings, activities, and events, log on to our website at idahonews6.com and click on this story. Reporting in Cary, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Joey Martin, Idaho News 6.
In Eagle, the new school year is here, and these students are heading into the forest. Back to school season is here, and for some students, the education experience looks a little different. I'm your Eagle neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, getting close to nature and learning about the Everwild Forest School, where kids are leaving behind the screens and learning in an outdoor classroom. These students are embracing the environment of the Everwild Forest School, surrounded by song, where the Boise River is the backdrop of their outdoor classroom.
Started with this idea of wanting to get kids more connected to nature, get them growing in nature, since so many kids nowadays are inside and on screens.
Founder Erica Herbson says parents see the difference. With no screens in sight, the young students can focus on the environment, enhancing their personal growth and academic success.
Being outside is just shown to increase comprehension, it's memory retention, attention itself, and just really helping kids in all aspects of development.
Bombadillo, cockadillo, engines roar, jet cocks dive into the ocean floor.
Everwild currently works with the Boise School District and hopes to expand options with West Ada in the future. I'm your Eagle neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, for Idaho News 6.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us this morning on Good Morning Idaho, and we have a lot more in store coming up in our last half hour. Here's what's still to come from your neighborhood reporters.
In Twin Falls, what you need to know about the city's budgeting process and how it'll impact your property taxes. Wildfires are burning across the West. I'll tell you about new technology that aims to track them using satellites.
Look outside from the Treasure Valley Chevy Dealers Tower Cam.
Connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Good Morning Idaho.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Good Morning Idaho Live. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris on this Tuesday morning. Still much more ahead in our last half hour today from our large team of neighborhood reporters. A lot to get to today, so let's check it out. Our Brady Caskey is going to highlight new technology that allows first responders to better track wildfires and their activity, and the way they're doing that is using satellites. Also, our Victoria Rodriguez brings us the sights and sounds of the Owyhee County Fair. It is fair season, everyone, kicking off with horse shows and a packed schedule of events throughout the week. We'll get to all those stories and much more, but first check on our weather with Sophia Cruz for all those things coming up. Boy, the weather looks fantastic.
Yeah, we've had a really good week of weather here, and honestly, there's not very many problems with our forecast. It's just so nice. So taking a look at Twin Falls right now, it's a beautiful sunrise waking up here, 62 to start the day. Again, your time right now, 6:32. So if you're heading out the door, maybe take some good photos of this. If you do, send them in on idahonews6.com. newscast.com. But either way, on the way to work, it's going to be relatively nice and cool out there. So if you grab a light jacket, it'll be nice to still, even without one. You've got 59 as you head out the door. By the time you're getting ready to head home from work, 89. Now you'll notice that there's still going to be plenty of clear skies for today, but as we continue through the week, we're going to be talking about the temperature roller coaster that we're sitting on. We're kind of warming up, rolling, and then cooling right back down, and then the heat returns again. So.
Yeah, bound to happen as we move through August. But another thing that's great right now is we don't have a lot of smoke in our area, which is fantastic compared to previous summers. Well, thanks, Sophia. We start this half hour in the news with city budgeting efforts in Twin Falls. Our Lori in Nettleton breaks down what it's going to cost and what projects the city is looking to fund.
The city of Twin Falls is sorting out the details of next year's budget, but it takes a lot of work. I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter, Lori in Nettleton, and I'll be looking into what some departments are asking for and what that means for your property taxes.
Starting back in July, each city department took turns presenting their funding request to City Council for the upcoming year.
City budget?
Not many neighbors wanted to weigh in, but I did ask City Manager Travis Rothweiler about that $95 million.
It's down about $7 million compared to last year's budget.
The city's proposed tax rate will see a little bump compared to last year, up just 13 cents per $1,000.
In the past, it was upwards of 8 to 8.25, and so we'll continue to work that way down, as well as trying to find the resources that we need to offer quality services to the citizens.
That means if your house matches the median home price in Idaho, your 2026 city taxes will be roughly $1,141. The council has discretionary funds they can allocate and are weighing around a dozen projects they could fund. Those include parks facilities, such as an almost $600,000 upgrade of Baxter's Dog Park, $385,000 for Harmon Skate Park, $50,000 to redesign the medians on Pole Line Road, and nearly $90,000 to remodel a fire station number 1. A big factor in the city's tax rate is property values, which continue to climb.
We want Twin Falls to be accessible. We also recognize the market continues to grow and expand rapidly.
But part of the goal of holding 8 public meetings on the budget is to foster community engagement.
We've always found, the council agrees, that the more citizen input that we have in that process, the better the budget, the better we're able to meet the citizens' needs. So that's the most important piece. There's still time for citizens to engage. We got 4 more meetings and we hope to see them.
A public hearing is set for August 25th. We'll have more information linked to this story on our website, idahonews6.com. I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter, Lori in Nettleton, Idaho News 6.
Alaska Airlines will soon offer new flights connecting Southern California to South Central Idaho. This December, the airline will fly from Sun Valley to San Diego 3 times a week throughout the winter season. And starting in January, a daily flight will connect Boise to Ontario, California year-round.
Fire season is in full swing across the country, including here in Idaho. I'm your neighborhood reporter Brady Caskey, learning more about new technology that aims to help firefighters track fires and predict how they'll grow, all from space.
So Idaho is a perfect case study for where satellites work really well.
Robert Lamacchia with Aurora Tech USA says their fleet of satellites circling the globe can be a set of eyes in the sky for firefighters.
For us, we think it's a really useful tool in the toolkit because not everything is going to be able to be seen on the ground.
Their platform, called Wildfire Solution, monitors fire hotspots and predicts how wildfires may grow even in the most remote parts of Idaho.
There's a number of fires going on in the state at the moment, and it's quite a diverse landscape. This is a really valuable way for firefighters to say, okay, these are the areas we need to target. This is the perimeter as it stands, and here's what could happen into the future.
Fire crews can use this extra data about the blaze to help them coordinate resources.
They're getting hotspots and updates and detections more than 25 times a day. And so they're getting near real-time data from space that's being brought down to the fire community to perhaps detect earlier or monitor these areas better. Ultimately, it'll be better for the folks sitting at home. And, in and around the wildland-urban interface, that's very much growing in Idaho.
If all goes to plan, this wildfire solution technology should be in use here in Idaho in the near future. I'm Brady Caskey reporting for Idaho News 6.
The Southwest Ada County Little League team competing in the Northwest Regional Tournament has officially been knocked out after losing to Alaska 0-2 yesterday afternoon. Alaska will now play the winner between Washington and Oregon, which is set to start at 3 p.m. Mountain Time today. You can also find coverage of the Idaho team ahead of the tournament in Allie Tripke's story on our website, idahonews6.com. The Kuna Outlaws 8 and under baseball team have brought home a state championship title. Mayor Joe Steer gifted each player with a Kuna hometown coin. The team will now represent Kuna and Idaho at the Cal Ripken Little League World Series later this month, but they'll need your help to get there. You can find the link to donate on our website. Alrighty, at 6:38, let's take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood today. A special evening for law enforcement with National Night Out tonight. This is a unique event held in the first Tuesday in August. Police will be out at community block parties, supporting the relationship between police and the people they serve. You can find a map of the nearest block party to your neighborhood on the City of Boise website. Over at the Knitting Factory in Boise, pop music star Andy Grammer performing tonight, known for hits like Back Home and Honey, I'm Good. The singer is set to take the stage at 8 p.m. Tickets selling fast, so get them quick if you want them. And finally, back to school. Well, it's coming up, folks, right around the corner. It's also the last day to donate needed items in Clayton Homes of Boise's school supply drive. Notebooks, pens, binders, earbuds, and anything else that a student might use are still needed. All donations are going to the women's and children's shelters, and you can drop off donations at their location on Chinden until 5 p.m.
It's officially Fair Week in Owyhee County. See how competitors started the week off strong in the show ring.
The Owyhee County Fair is officially here, and things kicked off with a tradition that brings out both skill and patience, horse showmanship.
I'm your neighborhood reporter Victoria Rodriguez here at the fairgrounds, where day one is all about the riders and their connection with their animals.
It all starts at the show ring, where local kids competed in horse showmanship, one of the Owyhee County Fair's most anticipated events.
Judge will be looking for the kid's control of the horse, how well the horse moves, how well he behaves on command in a timely manner, and how in unison the rider and the horse looks.
Horse showmanship hasn't always been a fair tradition, but today it's a highlight. About 30 kids competed, divided into 3 age groups.
Our numbers vary. I think in the early 70s they were quite a bit higher. These kids really look forward to having this every year.
Among the competitors, Grace Clay and her horse Jasper. She's been doing this since she was little and says the experience has shaped both her and her horse.
It gets me out there, it makes me a better horse trainer, and it gives my horse time to, if I ever wanted to go to big shows, because this is only the county, but this is one of the biggest shows of the year for me.
For Grace, the biggest challenge isn't just in the arena, it's in the mindset it takes to compete.
I know me and my horse are very capable to do anything we put our minds to, but it's my own competitiveness.
It was a strong start to a week packed with livestock events, contests, and community fun, with something new happening every day.
And that's just day one. Tuesday brings sheep weigh-ins, contests, fair food, and fun, with the rodeo still ahead later this week. Reporting in Homedale, I'm your Canyon County neighborhood reporter Victoria Rodriguez for Idaho News 6.
Efforts by NASA to build a nuclear reactor on the moon. Other countries hoping to get there first. The latest on those plans when we get back.
The space race is back, and this time it's nuclear.
Get off the nuclear warhead.
But not like that. Acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy is set to announce the agency is fast-tracking plans to build a nuclear reactor on the moon. Documents obtained by Politico reveal NASA will solicit proposals for a 100-kilowatt nuclear reactor that would launch to the lunar surface by 2030.
And we're going back to the moon in order to learn to live, to work, to survive.
NASA has made returning to the moon and establishing a lasting human presence there a top priority. Power is key to building bases, supporting crews, and staying long-term. And with 14 days of darkness on the moon each month, solar power won't cut it. So the race is on to be the first to bring power to the moon. The directive warning, if other countries manage to build a reactor first, they could declare a keep-out zone, which would significantly inhibit the United States. China and Russia currently have a joint plan to bring a reactor to the moon by 2035. A senior NASA official saying it is about winning the second space race. The UK is already working on its own lunar reactor, partnering with Rolls-Royce to build a miniaturized system that could support humans on the moon.
It's a very small reactor that we can absolutely launch into space, so it's about the size of a car, and it allows us to give continuous energy and electricity. When you've got the sun, you can use solar, but if you want to explore the dark side of the moon and go around the other side, actually you're going to need something else, so the nuclear power allows you to do that.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Sophia Cruz with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Okay, I guess the big question is if it blows up on the launch pad, what happens? You know, nuclear material. But yeah, we'll figure that out later, I guess.
I would hope that doesn't happen, though.
Yeah, those rockets never blow up.
Yeah, well, okay, well, fingers crossed. Only good karma. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Yeah. That's the way I'm walking into my Tuesday. It's a new start to the day, so as you start to get ready with us, first off, good morning to you. And taking a look right now, if you're getting that early morning walk or workout in, it's nice and cool out there. You've got mid-50s as you head into your valley floor, so a bit cooler than yesterday. 39 waking up in Stanley, so pretty chilly up there. And throughout the afternoon, we will see temperatures slowly rise. It's not going to be as really comfortable as what we saw yesterday, but you'll notice that it's still not too hot out there. You've got lower 90s into Mountain Home, 89 in Boise, Caldwell also sitting at 89, and you've got some comfortable upper 70s to lower 80s lingering on in our mountains. Now by Wednesday, that's when that middle of the week heat returns. You'll notice you get mid 90s along your valley floors, 89 off in Idaho City, 79 in McCall. That's still going to feel pretty good. Our mountains, you guys still feel really good regardless as much as it heats up down here. Now let's take a look at the bigger picture of what's happening and really why we're seeing this kind of temperature roller coaster come across. By Wednesday, we'll look at this trough slowly starting to make its way up make its way down from the Gulf of Alaska. As it does, this is going to promote northwesterly flow. This will bring up some rain towards our northern areas, but for us, mostly cloud coverage. But as this northwesterly flow really increases, that's going to bring down our temperatures and just bring in that nice cooler air that we like to see. As we get ready for Friday, this is really going to start to change. You'll notice this northwesterly flow slowly starts to shift. As it does, we start to see a more westerly pattern come our way, and that's when we start to see this just overall huge ridge come across the Pacific Northwest, and more so, what that's going to do is really bring up our temperature. So it does look like we'll see a bit of an up and down pattern, but one thing that we will start to also get into our afternoons, stronger wind gusts. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to feel super breezy throughout the majority of the day, but take a look at this. This goes into all the way Wednesday around 4 o'clock. You see wind gusts around our area hovering upwards towards 20 miles per hour. By Thursday, that's the same story. So not much relief. It will be pretty breezy, but with temperatures warming up, it'll overall just feel pretty cool. Now by Thursday afternoon, you'll notice that that trend still kind of continues. So while we do see things heat up into tomorrow, there will be a little bit of a light breeze helping us keep a little cooler. And then throughout Thursday and Friday, mid 80s as that cold front moves through. Into next week, we'll slowly see those lower 90s, and heads up on Tuesday, we don't have a temperature there because models aren't necessarily in agreement of whether we'll see that hot triple-digit heat or if we'll be in those mid 90s. So that'll be something we continue to watch through the week ahead. As far as our temperature outlook goes, this is showing us that we are still looking at high confidence, so where you see all this dark red and orange, as we start to make our way into the second week of August, that we will see above average temperatures. So heads up on that front. We aren't done necessarily with the summertime heat just yet, but throughout the weekend and as we approach it, you'll notice mid 80s. So it'll be pretty comfortable through Saturday at least, and then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, we'll see those 90s return. It's gonna be a good Tuesday regardless, but let's make sure we get you into work first.
Idaho News 6 traffic is brought to you by Champion Windows.
All right, 6:51 is your time, and we are giving you a live look of downtown where the sun is coming up. It's Tuesday morning. If you're just joining us, take a look at the roads right now. It's all overall not too busy just yet. It is still 6:51, and as we take a look at Cunin Meridian and that eastbound lane, it still looks pretty good out there. We know that lane likes to get especially busy as you head out the door. So just heads up on that front if you want to get an earlier start to the day. Looks pretty good. We are looking at a little congestion on the I-84 eastbound, but just taking a closer look at some of our neighborhoods. Eagle looks pretty good if you're moving that that way. Lots of green on this map still. Looks like you're running into a little slowdown if you are heading onto Myrtle Street in downtown, but overall, still looks to be a pretty swift commute for many of us. Now, again, we'll also be talking about our cooler weather approaching as we head through the end of our week.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the rising stress of grocery bills. This mom from New Jersey, Kelly Lohr, is like many Americans, wanting to trim costs any way she can on that ever-growing grocery bill.
My husband and I have 4 daughters, so our grocery bill per month is over $1,500, and we are looking for some ways to
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs that can cause Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Mice searching for sources of food can spread bacteria and disease. Mosquitoes breed in standing water and can transmit illnesses like West Nile virus and Zika virus. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home and can leave behind allergens that trigger asthma attacks. Stinging insects attack in defense of their nests and send more than 500,000 people to the emergency room every year. Household pests are a threat to our health. Learn
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent.
Welcome back to Good Morning Idaho, everyone. We're just wrapping up here this morning. In case you missed it, these are the top stories that we're following from our neighborhood reporters today.
With just 1 week until Boise students head back to class, the school district is launching something new. A parent-led group aimed at rebuilding trust and giving families a real seat at the table. It's called the Parent Advocacy Group. 26 parents from every corner of the district now tap to meet directly with Boise schools' top leaders. With backlash over how the district handled reports of sexual misconduct involving staff, parents have made it clear they want more transparency, accountability, and a voice in how schools respond.
Fire season is in full swing across the country, including here in Idaho. But new technology known as Wildfire Solution uses satellites to help firefighters track wildfires from space and predict how they'll grow. If all goes to plan, Idaho will be using this new tech in the near future.
The city of Twin Falls is sorting out the details of next year's budget, but it takes a lot of work. As they make plans for $95 million, there's still time for you to weigh in. The council has discretionary funds they can allocate and around a dozen projects being considered. There's 4 more meetings left to go every Monday night. They hope to finalize the budget on August 25th.
Now, the Out the Door forecast, brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors.
All right, well, as you get ready to head out the door, you've got upper 60s as you make your way into work. Plenty of sunshine into that, and as we continue through the rest of the day, you've got mid to upper 80s. So it is getting a bit warmer than yesterday, but that's not stopping the sunshine. It's going to be a good day for some patio weather as long as you're in the shade, and then also maybe just a nice walk around the Greenbelt. If you want to read more about the forecast, you can head on over to idahonews6.com. Otherwise, let's get you ready for your Tuesday morning commute.
Idaho News 6 traffic is brought to you by Champion Windows.
All right, well, it's 6:57, and as we give you a look downtown, the sun's coming up. It's going to be a good Tuesday morning here, and as you get ready to head out the door, here's what we're looking at, a little slope. So as you approach I-84 eastbound, just a heads up if you're going in that direction, you'll really start to see this near Northside Boulevard. Also some slope as you approach Karcher Road, so heads up for my Caldwell commuters heading that way. Otherwise, it's been pretty smooth this morning, and we haven't seen too much change, which is nice heading into your Tuesday. You've got Chittenden Boulevard to US 20 eastbound coming in at just under 13 minutes. So it's a nice quiet start to the day rolling. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow's already going to be Wednesday. I feel like this week is already flying by.
I know. You know, I've had a lot of short days off during these weeks recently, and it's kind of nice to have a short week. But boy, the weather is fantastic out there. I was thinking I need to hit the river again here soon, but it doesn't even seem that hot.
Yeah, but it's still nice. It's something nice to do outdoorsy.
All right, I got to make plans, get out there. Hey, it looks gorgeous out there, everyone. Enjoy your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.